Okay, this is how to make 1% starch. Starch is a very versatile substance. We can use it for enzyme substrate reactions or an indicator or something more complicated like this sliding clock. We're making 1% weight by volume, so 1% in 100 ml is 1 gram. And our target volume is 500 ml, so we're going to need 5 grams. So we're going to tear our balance and we're going to weigh out 5 grams. We're choosing a thick-walled beaker because we need something to take the heat. We're going to heat it directly from the bottom using a heater stirrer. Now we're going to add a really small volume of water because we want the right consistency. We want to try and make a thin paste, and we want to make sure everything's well mixed with the water and nice and homogeneous. Hot plate's nice and hot, so let's go onto the hot plate. We're not putting the stir bar on yet. We are literally just going to wait for it to heat up. We're going to make sure that we don't walk away from this. If you walk away from a starch solution, you will burn it. It will decompose into its sugars and then turn into caramel and then turn into just carbon. We are going to give it a little stir by hand, making sure we pick up the beaker by the top of the beaker because that's going to be the coolest part. We're looking for the solution to get to about 70 to 90 degrees. We know we've reached the end point once that solution's gone clear. So starch is made up of these granules, and these granules are made up of long repeating sugar chains. In the gelatinization process, we're looking to drive water in between those branches, hydrate that granule, which will make it soluble, and the solution will go clear. Time to add a stir bar now, make sure everything's nice and homogeneous. I'm just going to keep adding water, a very small amount to try and keep it at the right temperature. I might lose some water through evaporation, making sure I clear down the wall of the beaker. Okay, heat-proof mat, let's start letting that cool down and we can add some water to speed up that process. We'll retrieve that stir bar and make sure that everything's had a quick rinse, make sure all the starch is off it. So 500 ml volumetric, let's fill that up with 1/3 of the final volume of distilled water. We're going to decant our starch into there. We're going to back that up with lots of rinses to make sure that all that thick viscous starch has gone from the beaker into the volumetric flask. We're going to fill up to the neck, but not to the graduation line. That solution is going to keep cooling to room temperature, and it's going to slightly decrease in volume. Put the bung on, but we're going to put it ajar to make sure we don't get trapped in the vacuum as it's cooling. Now that's cooled to room temperature, we'll do a final top up with distilled water to the graduation line, making sure we bring it to eye level and that meniscus is sitting on the line. Do our 10 inverts to make sure that everything's nice and homogeneous and evenly distributed. And we all know that all unmarked solutions contain a fast-acting poison that will kill you instantly. So we're going to label it up, and that is 1% starch done.